Okay. Good morning. We have Sherri with us as our special guest today for Empowering Extraordinary Mums Facebook group. So welcome, Sherri. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Samantha. Excited.
Yeah, so look, what I'll do is I'll just give all our mums in our group a quick background. We actually met about a month ago on an online business course. So we've never met before that. And we got paired up together on a similar scenario where we had to go into a little breakout group and have a chat. And some of the wording you used to describe your spending planning business really resonated with me. There's a few words you used. I thought, you're not quirky, but you know that. So you talked about financial flabbiness and then turning that around into financial fitness. And I could totally relate because I talk about being frumpy through to fabulous. And I think my audience in the group would be able to really resonate with who you are and how you operate your business. So you were like straight on to getting in touch with you about coming on as a guest speaker. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
A little bit of background that I know about you. Then if you want to add anything extra, you're a mum of 5, so hats off to you.
Yes.
I stopped at 3 and that was way more than enough. So well done. You're based in Brisbane?
Yes, I am based in Brisbane. So I was born I was my parents' jackpot. I was born in Las Vegas. And yes, and then I went and traveled to England where I met my husband, my Aussie husband. And so I ended up here 32 years ago. We've been married and 5 children later. And so I was a stay-at-home mom up until 4 years ago. And then I decided it was time to give back to the village that helped raise my children. Because as we know, as moms, we don't do it ourselves. No. Even if we have a partner, we don't do it ourselves. We have the community. And so I just wanted to kind of give back to those who assisted me. And so, yeah, I love to share what I learn, and I found some real gems that I just love to let others know so they can travel their road a bit smoother.
And that's also is that you're very passionate about what you do because of how much it's impacted your life and everybody else around you that you've helped. So I think when you have a passion for something, it flows naturally and you're so much more appreciative of actually being able to help other people. It's not just a business. It's actually you're changing lives by helping people. So I love that bit about you and what you do as well.
Yeah. In fact, I'll just share, if I can just share, I just had a big win with them. I call them wins, because we make money fun. Hence why it's not called a budget, because when it's different from a budget, it goes beyond budgeting. But I make money fun again. When we were a little kid, it was fun. We got our pocket money. And then as we got older and got bills and got into debt, it didn't become fun anymore. And the beginning of 2020, just a month before the whole world changed, I had a young couple. They had 3 little kids, and she was offered a promotion at work, but they weren't going to give her any more money. And she thought, she was very highly skilled. She thought, I can find a better job. So she actually quit her job and thought, I'll just have a month home break and then I'll go back to work. Well, then COVID hit. So here she went from 2 incomes down to the 1 income, homeschooling her children. She was in the US and had quite a bit of consumer debt, credit cards and personal loans. So we got those paid off within the first few months. We got a lot of those paid off, and their dream was to get a home. And so anyway, I finished working with them because I just work with people for a short period of time because I empower you so that you can do it on your own and teach your kids. And she contacted me, about 3 weeks ago and says, guess what? We're homeowners tomorrow. And I was so happy for them. And 2, since I've talked to them, which has been about 6 months, they paid cash for a car and they paid off some more debt. And now they own a home. And this was all from February 2020 to March 2021, in the time that you would have thought people were really stressed. But because they had the spending plan, she goes, it changed our life. And that's just one of the many stories that I have. It literally does. And yeah, it's a spending plan. It's not a budget. It's not restrictive. We spend. I'm a happy spender.
Yes.
But there's two types of happy spenders. There's one who's happy while they're doing it.
Yes.
And then they go home and they're not a very happy chappy.
And then they panic and go, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Exactly. Yeah. Where I'm a happy spender because I have a plan. I plan my spending. I then save for my spending, and then I happily spend. And so I have zero guilt, zero. I love to spend because I know that I deserve it.
Yes. So we were chatting beforehand, and we were talking about how like budgeting has so many negative connotations about it. And in the health and wellness industry, I liken it to diet, where you think, oh my God, I can't eat this food, I can't have that, I've got to watch my calories, and I've got to burn up so many calories by exercising. Budgeting is sort of similar. If you flip it to spending well and planning for the spending, and in the health industry, you are careful, or you eat nutritiously and then you exercise because you enjoy it. It's a whole different mindset. It's flipped. And so you're actually giving yourself permission to enjoy that process of spending, which is what you were just incorporating then. It's totally different. No,
that's right. And two, when I teach, the basis of what I teach is truth. I teach money truths. We weren't taught truths. We weren't even taught about money in school, let alone taught the truth about money. In fact, we were taught lies because we had Mr. Cred from our Dollarmite accounts, who was really cool, but he represented credit. And so we weren't taught. So I smash all those lies that you've been told, and I tell you the truth about money. And it's amazing. Mindset can be changed so quickly if you know the truth. And I work with people who go from a shopaholic to having secret bank accounts from their partner, to within a week after a first session, they've come clean and they just feel. So truth is what changes your mindset, and then knowing what your money truth is. Yes. We each have our own money truth because we all bring in different amounts of money, but we need to know our truth and then be honest with that truth. Be honest to yourself, be honest to your partner, to your children, to your friends, so that we live our truth. And that's what brings really big change.
It empowers you, but also peaceful. It allows you to go back to a place where you feel calm and you don't have all that underlying stress, which as mums is significant, because we, without even realizing it, we're projecting that stress onto our children, let alone our ideas about money and where we believe, whether it's there's good or bad. We have all these ideas that we project onto children, like money doesn't grow on a tree, or where do you think the next amount of money is coming from? All those little things you say flippantly in times of stress, we're passing on to our children. So yeah.
And I was the mom before a spending plan. If my kids asked for something, because you can imagine 5 kids and all the birthday parties they got invited to, there were sometimes I had to say, well, how well do you know this child? Because, yes. And so they heard no come out of my mouth a lot. Then once we got a spending plan, we could put those things in and plan for it. And that's what a lot of my family say too, that their kids are shocked that they can say yes a lot more, because they say, because we put that in our plan. And so it's teaching them, you can get whatever you want in this life if you first plan for it, have a plan, save for it, then you can spend it. And so it's teaching your children that this is a positive thing, money, if you use it the right way.
So a couple of things I just jotted some notes down beforehand was, obviously as a family, and you've been through this, and where I'm at now is obviously we've all got some sort of expense, or whether it's a mortgage or rent. We've all got the factoring in of educational costs. So these days, everybody needs a laptop for high school. My daughter that's in year 9, so she's 14, has to have a smart calculator. I think it was $180 for the smart calculator. They're just extra things that keep getting added on all the time. If you don't plan to go away for a family holiday once a year, twice a year, whatever, the cost of staying home and taking them out for activities, whether it's ice skating, whether it's, I don't know, off to the movies with 10 friends and everything, it all adds up. And if you're not planning for it, obviously 7 weeks of Christmas holidays is a long time to keep them all entertained, as well as things like going to the beach for free, etc. There are costs that come up. Medical costs that arise. We're very lucky in Australia. Obviously, we have Medicare as our base platform for health. I know some of our viewers are from the US and other countries around the world, so their health system is quite different. And I believe they've got to come up with the money up front, otherwise there's no treatment. These days, with the divorce rate being so high, it erodes assets dramatically. Not that we want to plan for that, but just, I suppose, if you've got everything else planned for, then you've got more awareness and you're educated.
And if I could say something on that, quite often I get female clients that are going through a divorce or a breakup, or her husband was an accountant, took care of all the money and basically gave her free reign of multiple credit cards. And then he got hit by a car in front of their house and got a brain injury. So he couldn't manage it anymore. And so all of a sudden he's in a coma and his phone's going off. This is due. She had no idea, because he thought he was doing the best thing for her by taking care of the finances, where now she had no idea how to do that. And so she came to me and I helped her and did that. And so we need to, as women, empower ourselves, even if our husbands are doing the finances, or vice versa. Women, if we are doing the finance, we need to empower our partners so that they know, because something may happen and they need to know how the finances work. Yes. And so it's very empowering for us women. We need to be self-reliant financially. That's why I started on my journey. I went back to uni because I wanted to be able to provide for myself and for my children in case something happened. My husband has a chronic disease, and so I had to be prepared for that. And so the times of sitting back and letting the partner take care of us, those are gone. We need to, and it's great. It's very empowering to know that you can become financially self-reliant and not reliant on anybody else or even the government.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what do you think in relation to what you've learned through life as a mum of 5 children, and obviously through business? What do you think have been some of your biggest learnings that you've had that you could help share with the other mums in this group?
Oh, what have I learned? Well, one, I learned really good time management. Yes. And because, absolutely. Yeah. And I made a choice. I wasn't going to be the mom that was living in my car and sometimes at home, running my kids. So basically they all had to take turns who was going to be in certain things. And so, time. And in fact, I love time management. And that's why when I found this spending plan, it goes together so well, because that's the difference between a budget and a spending plan. Is a budget deals with income and expenses and says it's possible to pay your bills, but it doesn't show you how, where a spending plan goes that third element, which is vital, which is timing. Your income comes in at different times of the year, and so do your expenses. So you need to kind of see a future bank statement to see if the money is going to be there when those things happen. And that's exactly what the spending plan will do. You'll see a crystal ball of your future 12 months, and you'll be able to see that, yep, the bills are going to be able to be paid. I can automate them, or, hey, in 6 months, I'm going to be a bit short. So you have time to plan and do that. And so, that has been a real blessing, those two that go together. But I think what I would say for mothers is seek continual learning, continue to learn. Netflix is a huge thing now. I can count probably on a hand how many things I've seen on Netflix. You can waste a lot of time just entertaining yourself. Yet when you have a babe in arms or whatever, or even when you're doing the dishes, you can be listening to a podcast. There's so many ways that you can multiply your time by multitasking and keep your mind active. Because when after 5 years, if I wouldn't have done that, 27 years of raising kids, my brain was a little bit of a mush.
I was going to say, goes too much. Absolutely.
I constantly was learning things. If you can have a degree on YouTube, I would have a doctorate. If I needed to learn something, I would go on there. And so most of the things when I'm online, it's all educational. Occasionally I'll watch, some fun, but generally we need to empower ourselves with education so that when it's time to go back into the workforce, you have skills and you're kind of up to date.
Yeah, and also there's you can still slot in music, you can still slot in
definitely
movies or whatever around it, but I usually allocate some sort of educational base. And what I try and explain to other mums, etc., is it doesn't matter what the topic is. Start off on a topic you're interested in, and it leads to other topics, and you are learning and growing as a person. So it's having a really good positive impact on your mind and keeping you active and up to date, and just constantly improving yourself.
You have to have a passion. That's the thing, is people know me, I'm very passionate. I get very passionate about money and all, just anything that other people might see as stressful and bring them anxiety. But we have to have a passion. And that's really important in life, because sometimes life throws you curveballs, and you have to have something that you really enjoy doing that makes you a better person, so that is like your little escape.
Well, trust me, I've had a few of those this year with my daughter, thinking she had cancer and then losing the dog. And there's times where you think, I don't want to get up. I just don't want to get out of bed for the day. And it's those things that you are passionate about, not just getting up because the kids need you to do breakfast or dinner or whatever, but getting up because there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger why as to why you get out of bed each day. So I love asking everyone, what are you currently reading? Obviously, you said you listen to a lot of podcasts and things, but print-wise, do you have any books on the side table you read at night?
Not at the moment, because I'm an audio learner. In fact, when I teach people, I teach them in written form. I'm very visual as well, so I always have lots of diagrams and videos. But I'm a real big audio learner, so I love listening to podcasts. But there is one book that was just released from Melissa Kilner, and it's called The Deaf Girl.
Yes,
and the reason
I know.
And the reason why I want to get that book is just 6 weeks ago, when my daughter, I have 5 children, she's my oldest, and she lives down in Canberra, and she had 3 girls and then had her 4th, and it was a boy. But on the day that they do testing, and the day they're born, and he's profoundly deaf. And so they are actually, my husband's flying down there tonight and driving their second car back. Luckily, everything's aligned, and he got a job up here. They've been trying to get back to Brisbane, and he got the ideal government job that he's doing down there. And so they're back here. And like many places in Australia, the housing it's hard to even find a place, especially with 4 children. And so they'll be moving in on the weekend. So they're coming, and so we'll have, instead of 4 of us, we'll have 10.
Wonderful. And sounds exciting.
It's exciting. So I've picked my husband out of his office because I had to donate my office to give them about 3 rooms. And so because of this is a new learning curve for us, all going well, he'll be able to get cochlear implants at 6 months. But so we're just kind of educating ourselves, because I didn't even know what the word profoundly deaf meant. And that means that there's 0 hearing, and so her book just got released. And so that's what me and my daughter, and we will be reading to get, be enlightened about this new exciting world that we get to join in with.
So just for the viewers, Melissa is part of the business network that Sherri and I both in, and she's done a number of courses with me over the last 18 months or so. Melissa's amazing. I'll pop the link for her book in the comments below afterwards. And it's really gorgeous because she does sign language, and she's taught us a few signs. And my daughter's done Auslan in high school, and so when I showed her what some of the signs Melissa does, she goes, "Oh, I know all about that." So it's cool to link in and know some of her world as well. So okay, so who do you follow on social media or YouTube or any places like that? Do you have any high profile people that you follow?
His name's Nick True, Mapped Out Money, and he's a young guy. They do things a bit alternate. In other words, he lived in a trailer, him and his wife, for about a couple of years. And he's just very down to earth. I love straight speakers. I love people who don't beat around the bush, who are going to tell you the truth. And that's actually how I work with people. We've been, like I said, we've been lied to so much with consumerism that someone needs to tell you the truth. And so I tell you it lovingly. And so that's what he does. And so I actually use quite a few of his videos in my course. And so, yeah, that's Mapped Out Money, Nick True. And then at the moment, because my business is growing, I'm just trying to find great YouTubers that are going to help me upgrade my systems. And so very educational.
Yeah, so you're looking for specific topics rather than specific people at the moment. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. Can I ask what your top 3 tips would be to live an extraordinary life and to be empowered?
Yes. So, I have 6 words that kind of goes together, and that is, you are amazing. You are important. You are special. You are perfect just the way you are. You are loved, and you are enough. And I think as women, especially, we need to remember our divine nature. We need to remember that we have such potential. And wherever we're at the moment, that's good. And we're so lucky to live in this beautiful country where we have opportunity. And so the only thing that's stopping us is this. It's our mind. And so we have to believe in ourselves before anybody else will. And the second part of that is you have to ignore all the naysayers in your life. When I say naysayers, you have this idea and they're going to try and beat you down. And some friends may think, ooh, she's changing. She's actually improving herself. It's making me look worse. Oh, stop. No, don't do that. And so we need to be aware of those people who are stopping us from progressing. And sometimes it's even our own family members and the ones that love us the most. And so we have to really know who we are and really believe in our dream. And yes, it may be crazy. My kids think I'm crazy. And I tell them, oh, well, if it wasn't for my craziness, we wouldn't have this. We went to the States just before COVID hit in Christmas 2019, my 5 kids and my grandkids. For my parents, my mom was turning 80 and we surprised her for an 80th. And that was a crazy idea, but we did it. And so you have to be crazy. I tell people, don't be normal, be weird financially. Normal people have debt and don't have a plan. Weird people have a plan, they save and they spend. And so I'm financially weird and I'm proud of it.
And the thing is, we don't have to even consider it as weird. It's about leading from the front and being the person that does it first.
Yes.
But research it really well first so that you know what you're going into. You'll find, and you don't have to be first as in such, but maybe first in your circle of friends and family. But find other people globally that have, because it's so easy to research these days and network with people, but find people that have done and are going where you want to go and what you want to achieve, because it is doable. It doesn't matter if you've got 3 kids. It doesn't matter if you've got 5 kids, like you've said. You got there. The whole family got to go and you made it happen. It's a matter of making a decision and really doing your research and finding out how you can make that fit for your family and your scenario. It can happen. And
Exactly.
I don't think we should be living in this shade of grey and giving up on everything. I'm a strong believer in pick those goals and make it happen.
Exactly. And I find that and I work with people who are, in their 60s, even I have some that closer to, 70s, and they kind of had forfeited their dreams. And it's like, no, as long as you're still breathing, you can achieve your dreams. You just need to have a plan. And that's the difference between achieving success and achieving your dreams and not. It's a plan. You have to have a plan. Once you get the plan and you know that it's good, you get excited about that plan, you implement that plan and you get your dreams. And so, I mean, a lot of people that I work with that prior to 2020, the first thing they wanted to do was travel overseas. And so, they were always going here, there, and everywhere because I showed them, wow, if you have a plan, you can see all that money that's just leaking out of your wallet. And, make a plan for it, make it happen. And life is to have fun. It's not just to work to pay bills. It's to have fun. And so, but of course, we have to put it in the right order. We have to make sure our needs are taken care of first before we go off and, do things.
And do all the exciting, fun, extra, the
Yeah.
icing on top of the cake type thing.
Yeah.
But you can still have that too. Yeah.
Oh, you can have it all if you have a plan.
Yeah, sure.
It's just timing, and timing's on your hand. You can have it all. It's just the plan, the spending plan that I help you create will show you what date you can actually get it. It will actually say by this time, because it's telling you your future bank statement, this time you're going to have money to go do that. Or if you're in debt on this day, if you follow this plan, you're going to be out of debt. Or if you put a little bit more money on that debt, even just $10, look how much that's going to save you in time, because compounding interest does not sleep. And so, a plan for anything. When I was growing up as a teenager, I used to see families that did lots of fun, exciting things. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have a family like that. And then I became a mom and I realized they just don't happen. Fun things just don't happen. It puts work, and you have to create that to happen. And so I'm a really big believer in creating memories, but it takes a plan and it takes effort.
Yes.
Occasionally you'll have something that just happens and you didn't have to do anything about, but that's more uncommon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's very exciting to have you, and you're inspiring me even this morning. So, look, where can we find you if members of our group would like to know more about what you do and who you are, and to have a look at the outline of your course and things like that?
Yeah, if you go to the best place is my Facebook group, which is Happy Spenders, because that's what I am and that's what I help you become. Happy Spenders Beyond Budgeting.
Okay,
because I take you beyond budgeting, because budgeting is limited. A spending plan adds in timing. It's all forward projecting. We don't worry about the past. Budgeting is like driving your car and looking through the rear view mirror, hoping you're going to get to your destination. But of course, what happens when you take the first turn? You crash. We want to get out of the past, leave the past behind. I've never heard anyone say, oh, I wish I would have spent more money last year or last month. It's always, I need to do better in the future. So a spending plan is all about your future spending, create that perfect virtual spending year, and then make your actual accounts align. And so, and so it's Happy Spenders Beyond Budgeting. And when you join the group, there's a welcome gift there, which ties in well with your group. It's it's a financial fitness questionnaire, and see how flabby or fit you are financially. And then there's an ebook which has 25 money truths. That is just a gift for coming to my group.
Okay, fantastic. Look, what we'll do is I'll also put those links in the comments below once I post this in our group. And if you jump on over and join the group, say hi to Sherri and let her know that you've come from Empowering Extraordinary Mums, and then she can be aware that we're fitness as well as not just financial, but health and wellness fitness too. So
exactly, and that's the thing is, the physical fitness and the financial fitness. The physical fitness is so important, and the financial fitness really can affect your mental health. I mean, both of them can, but I see people who are in so much consumer debt, and it literally does make them sick. And
Yes.
so when you get your finances organized and you're in control of them, whew, you have so much, so much more life to live.
It's like health and wellness, fitness, it doesn't happen without trying and without having a bit of a structure and having a plan on eating well, exercising throughout the week, so that you're not just going to do one here and there. Same as spending. You can't just look at it once in a blue moon and think it's going to work. You need to have a system, like showing up to the gym consistently, like eating nutritiously, and then maybe having your treat meal on a Friday or Saturday night, etc., where you have whatever dessert you want, etc. But if you don't have an overall system, it's not going to work. So they fall hand in hand, and you've got to have that, put that effort in to make either of them work.
And the exciting thing with the spending plan is that it can take as little as 5 minutes a pay to do your finances. It's because you're pre-planning your spending. You're basically going to go in and just say, did I spend it? Which is easy. Yep. And so it's really quick and easy, and it's exciting, and it unifies you and your partner because it tells the truth. So no more saying, squabbling, and it's
No,
just
never does
really,
that, do they?
yeah. No, I know.
None of these secret accounts or anything. None of this. I'm
Yes,
going off
exactly.
I'm going to shoes when I shouldn't be. None of that happens.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate you coming on and talking to all our members. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what's in your ebook and great content in your group.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you again. And for all your moms out there, you're amazing, you're important, you're special, you're perfect, you're loved, you're enough.
Beautiful.
Remember
We
that.
certainly are. We certainly are.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.